Hello, and Merry Christmas, almost. It is Road to Millionaire episode 9. We made it to 9. I know it's been a couple of weeks. Just with school and finals, it took me a minute, all right? It took me a minute to kind of get anything going, work, school, just other stuff going on. Anyways, I'd say we start off with another Where We At. And I'm sad to say nowhere. I mean, honestly, we're in a pretty bad situation with all of, all of the Christmas shopping that I did. So yeah, it sucks. But I didn't just want to come out with another video just to tell you that nothing happened. I passed all my finals, A's and everything. That was great. I guess the thing that I wanted to say is that this is a new era is happening, right? I've always been questioning, right? Like simple economics, right? Supply and demand. As a person, to make money, you need a supply, right? Whether that be a good or service. But for you to make actually any money from that supply, you need demand, right? Like you need people to be interested in your product, whether it be a good or service. And I've just been lost on that, thinking, well, damn, I don't know any like real skills that I can do for people. Like I don't know, I can't just, let's say it's fucking HVAC. I don't know, it's the only thing in my head. I don't know HVAC enough to be able to go into somebody's house and be like, hey man, I'm the guy, I'm your guy, I'm gonna get it done, right? But what I do know is finance, right? And I know it's funny and it's almost hypocritical because of how bad my habits are and how I don't have that much money at the moment. And I could blame that on so many things, like how I just don't make enough, or I could blame it on how, Christmas. I will blame it on Christmas. But I can make so many excuses. The real thing is that finance is just hard to do. As a person, budgeting, planning, and I know I wanted to build a lot of this channel off of investing and stocks and all that, but I've also learned that that's kind of not the starting point for anybody, right? And if I'm going to, share my journey to becoming a millionaire, starting with stocks is not the best idea. So I wanted to announce that I am starting a financial advisory service. I know, I just said everything about how my finances are bad, which is true. But here's the thing. It's like, I know what to do. The hard part is just actually doing it, right? So I could tell you all this stuff about, saving your money and budgeting. And I was doing good. I was actually doing good. I actually was making, my money was steadily, going up until Christmas. Christmas kind of fucked me. But I know how the game works. I know what to do. I don't have enough money on me, and it's hard, man. Like I said before, it's hard. It's hard to save, and it's hard to manage your money. It's hard to not be a consumer. We have such a consumer culture and I mean, that's how our economy runs. If we don't have consumers, then we have nothing. The dollar as we know it just means nothing if we don't have constant flow. And so that's why we have such big, I don't want to say propaganda, but all these advertisements. And like I talked about last episode, that's why we have so much going around about just consuming and consuming and consuming, just because that's how the world goes round, literally, in America. If we don't consume, our economy fails. And because of that, it makes it hard not to, right? Because you have to have the willpower not to. And it's hard when you're literally being sold 24/7. You don't think about it, but you are, right? Like every single day you are being sold something. And whether, it be through marketing or a person, each corner you turn, there's somebody, some company, somebody's trying to sell to you, and it's hard not to buy, all right? Because, I mean, let's be honest, we want the things that people are selling, you know what I mean? And they do a good job at selling it to us. And so it's hard. It's hard to, say, hey, I'm going to, I don't think it's so hard to like put money aside, but it's hard to, go to a place and say, you know what, maybe I'm not financially, stable enough to buy this extra thing. My fat ass can only think about food, right? So let's say like, you go to Chick-fil-A. Damn, well the meal's only like $5 more compared to just the regular chicken sandwich. I want the fries and the drink, right? The thing is, you got to take a minute, and it doesn't just work for food, but you got to take a minute and step back and think, do I need it though? Do I really want the fries and the soda when I could probably get it for cheaper somewhere else? One. Or two, I got, you have food at home. Maybe you don't get the extras. If you're still hungry, you go home. I'm not saying don't eat out, don't not treat yourself, but you got to be able to decide that I need to choose the cheaper option. And that's actually how I was before Christmas, how I was growing my money. Was by those decisions slowly but surely. Like, like I said before, slow motion is still motion. I want to go back to say, yes, I am starting a financial advisory service. I am on LinkedIn. I am posting, probably about a post a day, trying to just, get some bites. I'm cheap. That's the thing. Many people ask me, well, why you? It's because one, I'm going to be cheaper than everybody else. I'm trying to go for $5 for the first hour, 20 after that, and just do it by session, right? Again, I'm cheaper than most people because, you go to any YouTube guru out there and they're going to be charging you hundreds of dollars for bullshit. When also I want to emphasize that my strategy isn't around getting rich quick. I don't think that it's not smart. It's fun. It's fun to try and get rich quick, but when you're trying to actually build a some sort of financial freedom, getting rich quick by let me just fuck it. I'm just gonna all my money into this one trade or even gambling or whether stuff like that, right? It's not gonna work. You can't jeez, I'm stuttering like a motherfucker. I'm also sick, which that sucks right now. I'm still doing stuff like look at me right now. I still went to work, because I'm not a bitch and I also need money. What was I trying to say? I'm sorry. Oh, my head's been out of the game recently. Let me think 1 second. All right. Fuck my dick. So I believe that there is a way to win in this economy, right? I feel like a lot of people don't think so. I think a lot of people are discouraged, but I think if you're even making about 40 to 50,000 a year, there's a way to increase your money and to make money like passively, right? There's one saying, save the pennies, make the dollars. I don't think people realize how powerful, that statement really is, because it's so true. As long as you just save just a little bit, even if it's a little inconvenience or whatever, if you just save that, I think you'll be very surprised about how much your money stacks. And not only that, saving it the right way, investing it, budgeting the right way, planning your finances the right way, it can really increase your income, right? Like, I know inflation and the world's fucking everybody now with the economy, but I don't think that means that we should just give up and say no. It's because I don't make enough, that's why I'll never be a millionaire. I think it's possible for anybody to be a millionaire, and I'm not talking about just 1 million. I'm talking like tens of millions of dollars. I think it's possible. I know it's possible, just through the right method, right? And it takes time. That's the part that everybody needs to realize. It takes time. Getting rich quick may work for everybody, but probably not you, right? So it takes time. You got to be patient. You got to find, it may suck for a little bit. It may, I don't even think it has to suck for a little bit. You just might not be going out as much. Maybe I don't go on that vacation. That sucks. But look, it's going to be worth it in the future, okay? Like, that's just as simply as I could put it. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. I know I don't have anything else too interesting to say. I've kind of stopped looking at the stock market so much and looking at the news. I've been trying to focus on this I've been trying to like digitally market myself a little bit better. I really want it to get working. I could talk about finances all day. I could talk about, what to invest in, not just stocks, but just in your life. And I would love to talk to people, as much as I can. And that just be like the thing I do on the side. I don't want to work a job. They say time is money. And that's true, because you could always be doing something that makes you money. A barbershop, taking time out of your day to go and do something else that's not going to make you money it's losing you money, because at that point you could have had a client in, fucking made $40, 50, 60, however much barbers are charging now. At the salon, they're charging good money, you know what I mean? And if they're not there, then I'm like, I don't know what I'm rambling on about, but you get it, right? Like, time is money. But I don't want to work at a 9 to 5 where, like, at fucking Chick-fil-A, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that is such a bad investment on yourself, right? Unless you really have to. Spending all your time working for another company that's that's paying you jack shit. I mean, I know, look, I'm doing the same thing, but look, I like these people. But look, like, working for, what are you really learning when you're a cashier? You know what I mean? Are you really learning people skills? You're fucking looking at an iPad, tapping, you want a burger? You want a fry? Okay. Okay, next. Okay, you want a burger? Okay. You want fry? Okay. Fucking, like, what are you learning? What are you doing? You're not growing as a person doing that. You are literally rotting. It's just that you're getting paid to rot, and you hate that type of rotting. You know what I mean? So, like, invest in yourself. Try and start. And I know you got, college students, right? You got to do a side job to make money. But try, even while doing that side job, try and get the ball rolling on what you want to do, whether it be you got to go and get certificates before you do anything. I got to get certificates. Legally, I can't give like that much advice. I could give general advice, but I can't like legally go into detail about your finances, right? I can't legally tell you what stock to invest in. So I'm working on getting certificates right now. I'm working right now I'm starting to study for the SIE exam, securities industry exam. So SIE, not exam, SIE, just the SIE certificate. That's kind of like the general like basis exam for anybody going into finance, especially for college students. So I'm working on that, but I would rather do that and be poorer. And maybe I just don't go out all week, but at least I'm learning something that's real, like that is real knowledge that's going to give me real benefits in life. And I feel like most people will trade that to instead go work full-time or part-time at a job they hate, and they won't even grow from that. You know what I mean? Like, you aren't getting any knowledge about anything when you work at that fucking JCPenney, Like, you're just not. What are you doing? That's all I can say is that, what are you doing? I get it. Sometimes you gotta make your side change. I gotta make my change too. I gotta make my money too. I'm doing the same thing. But at least here, I'm talking to clients. These clients know things, right? Like, I'm talking to people who have businesses. I'm talking to people who have made it in the world already, and who already, that are giving me advice on what to do. I'm talking to accountants. I'm talking to finance people. I'm talking to investment bankers, right? And yes, am I making the most amount of money? No. There's so many people out there making more money than me. I can assure you, right? And is some kid working at McDonald's making more than me? Yes. But at least that this knowledge that I have now, and maybe this is just me coping, but at least this knowledge that I have now is going to help me build on myself, rather than I'm just helping some other multi-billion-dollar company make more billions of dollars. You know what I mean? And I'd rather do that, and I'm much more comfortable with doing that than working at some JCPenney. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I just don't know how to explain it anymore. Like, stop wasting your life at some job that fucking sucks dick and you aren't gaining anything from it. I think right now, especially as a college student, this is the time to learn. Even after classes, fuck what you're learning in classes, you're just doing that for the goddamn paper, right? Half the shit you learn in classes right now, all the basics, fuck that. I don't care. I feel like I'm wasting my time doing that, but I'm doing it because it is a stepping stone to go into the next level, right? And to learn about what I want to learn. That's it. It's kind of a side rant. I plan on coming out with more now that I'm done with finals. I'm going to come out with more videos. I'm going to start posting more. And I hope to have a bigger video, another kind of like that Beyond Meat video coming out soon. I still want to do a Jordan Belfort one because I thought it was pretty funny. And I have a script going on right now. Anyways, later.